And welcome everyone to this NCAA Division III women's lacrosse matchup between the Husson University Eagles and the Salem State Vikings. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Ethan Moss here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Ethan, how are you doing on this warmish early March afternoon?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. It's certainly a lot warmer than it was last week for the matchup we had, which is nice. It's nice not to be freezing up here in the booth.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see a little bit more of a spectator crowd here on this afternoon, but the Eagles enter this matchup at a record of 1-2 after they won their first home game versus the University of Mass at Dartmouth 10-4 before they dropped two on the road to Western New England University and Mass Maritime Academy. The first of those two games was against Western New England, who dominated them 17-4, but that second game was a lot closer. Ethan, could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so
Well,
the final score from Buzzards Bay was 13-12, and a lot of that was on the back of freshman Avery Baker, who's been having an amazing season to start off. 11 goals, one assist for a total of 12 points on the season. 7 of those came against Massachusetts Maritime. So very good game for her. Look for her to keep that hot streak going here today. And again, very close game, somewhat of a tough loss to Massachusetts Maritime. A good school and a good team. So still great signs for the women's lacrosse team heading forward in this season.
yeah, the Eagles had the lead going into the fourth quarter in that one, but wound up getting outscored 5-2 over the last several minutes of that game. And like you said, Baker had a great game. It was the third most goals in a single game in Husson program history. So she's already making a big impact for this program as a freshman. And this Eagles team has been playing well on the offensive side of the ball. For the visiting Vikings, they enter this matchup at 0-2 after a slow start with back-to-back losses on the road, losing 18-5 against the University of New England and 18-0 at Plymouth State. They finished last season 7-9 and took a trip to the MAS CAC quarterfinals. Ethan, what are you looking for from the Salem State team?
Well, it's a bit of a bounce back game for Salem State. Two very tough opponents to begin their season with University of New England and Plymouth State. Both those very tough teams to try and compete with. So for them, again, just kind of head back to the fundamentals. Some of the themes that we're seeing out of the Eagles side this year is really head back to the fundamentals and break down the game, make it simple. Don't try to do too much against this Eagles defense that has been holding up pretty well for the most part this year.
Yeah, the Eagles' defense has definitely been playing better. I think their passing has looked a lot better this year, a lot more assists early on in the season than last year. And I think that's part of it. We talked with some of the coaches, and they said one of the major things they were working on in this preseason was those fundamentals of passing and shooting the ball and just working on making sure they keep possession of it when they have the ball on offense.
And again, a lot of those times, those costly turnovers, they can really add up. So keeping it clean is the main theme for both of these teams here today, and really just going back to fundamentals.
And we'll toss it over to PA announcer Joseph Swanson for the starting lineups and the national anthem. And that was the starting lineup. Ethan, would you like to go over that one more time?
Yeah, again, one more time for your Eagles. Avery Baker, again, freshman out of Halldale, lighting up the season so far. 11 goals, will be getting the start as the midfielder. Abigail Booth, Maddie Benoit, Sydney Heth, Emma Doran, Sophia Gomez, Layla Martinez, Natalie Witten, Montana Carrier, Devin Vietz, Jory Boyd, and Emily Godfrey gets the start in goal. And now for the Vikings, Samantha Rowe, Taylor Suchko, Madison White, Brianna Stead, Mackenzie Schmink, Jenna Thomas, Catherine Lawrence, Caitlin O'Connell, Hannah Cochran, Jenna Wells, Carmen Lieberth, and Carson Reedy getting the start in goal for the Vikings.
And it will be Gomez going to the middle here for the Eagles to do this draw control. We saw Martinez take some of those ones in that first game against Dartmouth, but it's Gomez who I know has the experience from years past at that same position.
And the Eagles are really struggling to try and get draw controls off against UMass Dartmouth. So back to their regular.
And it will be Gomez against Wells in the center circle to get this game underway as it will be Gomez who pops that one up and gets it herself. She'll send that over to the right side, and the Eagles will have the first offensive possession of this game. In towards Baker, who, like you said, has been having a great start to the season for the Eagles. Will be sent around the backside over towards Martinez. Martinez is going to send it out towards Vietz. That's Baker with the ball now. She's going to send it over to Whitten. Missed pass there, but she has enough time to scoop that one back up for the Eagles. Wynn makes a move inside and gets the ball blocked there on the inside by the Vikings. And it looks like we're going to be playing with a full field on this one, Ethan. We saw the Eagles last time have to play with only the yellow lines, which definitely had some turnover problems for both the teams in that one. But It's been a warm last week or so, and I think that snow has melted down quite a bit out there.
Just in time for some more here tonight.
And this will be a little bounce pass over towards Gomez. And Gomez this season has scored 2 goals. Last year she scored 20, and I think she's been looking to try to get her scoring underway a little bit, and she'll get her first chance here with a free position attempt from right on that right-hand side of the upper circle.
Well, again, a great chance, like you said, struggling to get going this year. So here's a good opportunity to really start it off well.
And Gomez will put it home, upper right corner for the Eagles, who are going to take the 1-0 lead early on in this one.
Just a great goal right off the bat for the Eagles, again scoring quickly, which is something that they've been doing very well, is scoring quickly off of the draw controls and then capitalizing on that free position to get the goal. And again, we'll see if Gomez gets going here.
A nice goal there from Gomez as the Eagles forced the turnover over on that far side and worked it around and found Gomez, who was fouled, and took that free position goal herself. And the Eagles get out to that early lead that they wanted in this one. Will be Gomez in the middle here. And that one will be popped up and won by the Vikings. That's number 10, Schmink, who took that ball out of the air. And we'll see a first little substitution here from the Vikings, who are trying to do a little bit more of a offensive grouping out there.
Sending in a couple of attackers, Megan Partham and Angela Berry.
And quick run inside there. And a shot in over the top over Godfrey from Suchko, who ties this game back up 1-1 as she just streaked right up through the middle of that Husson defense.
Was a great move by her to get to the inside of the defender. Just gives her enough space to work towards the top. Again, we see a lot of goals work top to bottom in women's lacrosse.
And Suchko has scored 4 of the 5 goals for this Vikings team and had the assist on that 5th one, and is definitely someone that the Eagles are going to have to watch out for on defense. And you saw that speed inside, that she definitely took that one herself, and the Eagles couldn't do quite much to stop her on that.
Very interesting strategy by the Vikings early on. It looks like we're just going to have a tandem of substitutions every time they go on the attack with Partham and Berry.
It's a lot similar to men's lacrosse. You see that a lot more in men's lacrosse, that you have live substitutions similar to sort of hockey with that line changes and such, that you don't always see it. I haven't seen it as much with this Husson team in terms of bringing on offensive players specifically for that reason. As that ball is too high for Gomez, but the Eagles are there to scoop that one up. It'll be Viets over towards Doran. Doran sends this one up top towards Benoit, who makes a little move on her defender, but gets shut down there as that hole closed fast. Gomez tries to find it inside towards Baker, who manages to poke that one back out to Whidden. It'll be Whidden going towards the right side now. Across the field to Gomez, who's right at the top of the arc now. A little screen play there. That's going to give Gomez a little room to run to pass it back along that backside to Doran. Doran inside, but taken away there by the Vikings. Nice little play by them to stop that. Something we saw a lot from this Eagles offensive group. They did a great job of not allowing Dartmouth to move the ball up the field that easily.
Yeah, again, very hard for Dartmouth to really control the ball, trying to clear it. And I think that was part of that was the shortened sidelines that we had last week, but not a problem here today. But Eagles still doing a good job of.
And the Vikings give that one away as Benoit sends one a little bit too high for Gomez. And I think the Eagles would like to try to strike on those turnover plays on their own offensive zone, because you saw right there, the Vikings brought out 2 of their defenders to bring in 2 offensive players, and they don't really have enough time to bring those players back onto the field. as Baker takes a shot there, low and left to the left side, but it will be Benoit on that end line there to get the ball first.
We've seen the Eagles now a couple times lose out on a couple of good scoring chances because of high passes, or that first attempt actually was great defense by the Vikings to intercept that pass, but now twice where the pass has gone a little bit high.
And Benoit will reset this one out to Whidden. Whidden's going to work her way around the right side. She has space and room with a shot there. Great save by Reedy to knock that one away, and it will be a foul on Gomez, and the Vikings have the ball moving up the field, and their offensive players are back out on there. Will be Parthen with the ball right off the bat. And there's a pass in towards Wells, who can't quite manage to control it. And we'll go off of her for an Eagles possession over on that end line.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Eagles adapt. Again, we saw them kind of get a little bit lost with that substitution, leaving those two oncoming wide open, which allowed them to get the ball up the field a lot easier. So we'll see how the Eagles adapt to that as this game goes on.
Yeah, and I saw the Eagles' defense confer a little bit after that quick goal from Suchko. And we'll see if they decide to switch something up a little bit, maybe play her 1v1 and just be used to those players coming in off this right side. And that will be worked over towards Stead. Back around the backside. It'll be Suchko, and the Eagles are going to want to watch out for another one of these little quick moves from her. But you saw there, they kind of 2v1'd her on that backside. Suchko sends one in over the top. Save there from Godfrey. As that was Schmink who tried to take a shot there, but we will have a free position attempt coming up here from Schmink, who was fouled on that shooting play.
Early on, seeing a lot of good signs from the Eagles defense once again, sealing up a lot of these lanes that have been opening up.
And Schmink will take a shot into Godfrey. Godfrey saves that to her right side as that bounces right down to her. And that one is blocked. And goal there for the Vikings. That was Suchko who scooped up the misplaced clear attempt there from Godfrey and knocked that one home to give the Vikings the 2-1 lead over the Eagles.
Another quick strike. Again, Suchko doing a good job of awareness with that. Gets the ball on the ground and makes a quick move inside.
And Suchko had 36 goals a season ago, and she's a senior midfielder for this team, and we've seen already that she is an offensive threat out there.
And 4 out of the 5 goals for the Vikings heading into this game here today. That makes it 6 out of the Vikings' 7.
Yeah, and she's been involved in all 7 of those goals in some manner, as well as we mentioned that assist that she had in that University of New England game, and we'll get a shove in the back there on Gomez, and possession will remain with the Vikings, who are going to go quick here. And a missed pass over towards Steed will give the Eagles possession of the ball on the turnover. And I think we might have had a few too many players out on the field there.
And again, that's one of the drawbacks of subbing in and out all of the time is sometimes people forget to sub, so too many people on the field, too little people on the field can hurt you one way or another.
Well, and especially this early on in the season, it's hard to get that rhythm of once the season's gone on, you know that as soon as the ball is turned over, your offense is off the field and your defense is back out there. But I think for this Vikings team, they're still adjusting to that strategy a little bit out there. As it'll be Martinez here. Martinez sends it back towards Baker, who's on the backside right here. Baker's going to work it over towards Benoit, who goes inside with it. She's going to take a shot. Saved there by Reedy. And the Eagles will remain with possession of the ball as Baker scoops that one back up. And goal there from Benoit as she gets the second chance opportunity after the missed shot just moments before.
Beautiful pass by Baker right over the goal. Benoit was just wide open and didn't have to do much to send that one in.
And those ones are really hard for the goalkeepers just because they can't really see where the ball's coming from, that it's behind them. They're looking forward, and I think the goalkeeper got a little bit caught off guard there as Benoit was wide open right in the middle of the arc. And the Eagles will tie this one back up 2-2. And some great plays by them to bring this game even again. And it will be Gomez in the middle against Schmink for this draw control. That one's popped up in the air. Benoit tries to get to it, but it will be scooped up by Madison White. He's going to take this one over towards Suchko. And there goes those offensive players, but turned over. Vietz is going to want to try to get this one up the field fast to try to take advantage of those offensive midfielders being out there. Whitten makes the smart play there and kind of knocks it off of number 16 shin there, Catherine Lawrence, to kind of keep possession for the Eagles.
Yeah, had a bit of a rough handle with Lauren closing close. It was going to be a little bit hard to try and make a move upfield. So smart move to move it outside and get the ball turned back over to you.
And Gomez will send it over towards Benoit. Benoit crosses back over to the middle. She's going to take this one. Righty goal for Benoit as she gets her second of the contest and her second in as many minutes. The Eagles will take the 3-2 lead on back-to-back goals from Maddie Benoit.
And just a quick strike for the Eagles, moving up the field quickly. That's what they've been doing very well.
A great job by them, like you said, to get those quick turnovers and move the ball around. And it looks like we're going to take a little timeout here, as I think that was the Vikings who took that one. I think they've want to take a little bit to readjust. We'll go to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You're on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. And back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network, I'm Avery Henningston alongside Ethan Moss. And the Eagles just took that 3-2 lead over the Vikings on back-to-back goals from Madeline Benoit out there.
Yeah, just really quick, easy goals for the Eagles. It feels like there's not too much that they're doing intensely on the offense, and it's just been working out very well. So see if they can keep it up as the game goes on.
And we'll see if that timeout there from head coach for the Vikings, Karen Atkinson, will help them a little bit. See if they adjusted something on defense to try to take advantage or to try to slow down this Eagles offense. As miscontrol there leads to the Eagles winding up getting the draw control. I think that will go as a draw control win for the Vikings, but the Eagles will scoop up the turnover moments later. Will be Whidden inside. She's going to send this one back over towards Doran. And that one gets knocked away, but I think the Eagles are going to remain with. They're going to call that one off of Doran. Great job on that backside by Lieberth to knock that one away from Doran. And a low ball right up the middle of the field as Carrier makes a great play there to scoop that one out of the air as she was running backwards and get the ball back for the Eagles.
Did a great job of boxing out the Viking right on her to get the control of that ball.
And Martinez will give that one over. It's number 4, Abigail Booth, playing some tough defense over there, and she'll try to force a turnover, but winds up catching the back leg of number 16, Catherine Lawrence, out there, and the Eagles will not remain with possession of the ball.
Smart move to dump it back. There's a lot of Eagles right around her.
And that will be a little bit of a high pass over the top of number 12, Kai Hollingsworth, and the Eagles will get possession of the ball back. Dorn will inbound this one over towards Viets. Viets inside to Martinez, and that's that passing we talked about. Martinez is going to slow this one down and allow that Eagles offense to reset out there.
So the Eagles working a lot more towards the outside already.
Yeah, and I think that wider field has allowed them to kind of expand the middle of their team a little bit more.
Makes you feel a little bit more at ease working outside.
Well, you never want to take one step backwards and you're out of bounds all of a sudden, and it allows the team to kind of spread it open a little bit and get those lanes cleared open in the middle of the field for some of those offensive players. As Whidden will send this one inside to Gomez. Shot there, saved by Reedy. Gomez goes down hard, right inside of the center crease there. And it will be a Gomez free position shot right in the middle here.
Well, we saw her score in one of these a little bit earlier in the game to open up the scoring. Very simple move. We'll see what she does here.
She has a great angle at this one. Pretty much take one or two steps and shoot this left or right on the goalkeeper. She takes it low, kick save there, and it will be saved by Reedy. Nice job by her to knock that one away with her foot.
Reedy's looked very composed in goal so far here today, and I think a lot of that is relief that she's not facing some of these teams that are putting up 18 goals on her.
Some of the other games that Salem State has played this season, I know one of them, they started out in a 9-0 hole in that game and just couldn't really quite come back in it. And this one will be knocked away by the Eagles, who are going to scoop this one up. Martinez with it now over to Baker. Baker has some room on this right side. She gets knocked down, and we'll see a free position shot from right there as Baker got knocked away. And I believe we'll see a card on that one as well, on a hard foul on Baker over on that right side. And that was Hannah Cochran who got that yellow card, and she'll have to come over the sideline to sit out here for a few minutes. And Baker will get a free position from right on that right side.
Now the Eagles woman up as well.
And Baker takes a shot, low and score there as she gets the goal. And the Eagles will go up 4-2 over the Salem State Vikings as they score a woman-up goal there as Cochran will re-enter the field of play. And it'll be Romatic also entering the field for the Eagles. She'll take out Dorn out there. And another great goal from Baker, who, like we said, has been having a great start to the season. Make that 12 for her already. And it will be Gomez in the middle. The Eagles have now extended that lead to 2 over the Vikings.
Eagles have been efficient today, only 2 empty trips to the offensive zone, and they've been doing a great job of managing the shot clock as well. All season, only 2 violations the whole year, so very efficient, good at getting the ball back or resetting that shot clock if they need to.
As that will be won on the free position by Schmink, and she'll send it over into the middle to White. White's going to slow it down, let those offensive players get out there. It's number 20, Aislinn Bennett with it now. And they're going to loop this one over towards Suchko. This is not the player that the Eagles want to have the ball out there right now. This will be slowed down back over towards White. White on that backside to Partham.
Suchko lurking on the left side.
And Suchko will send that one in. A missed shot over the top, but the Vikings will remain with possession. And you saw there, Suchko kind of lured that defense to her and then sent that ball real fast right back into the middle, but a missed shooting chance there for the Vikings.
Well, Suchko looked to try to get into Jenna Wells.
As a shot there over the top, and that will be Salem State ball still, as there was a missed shot that got knocked over to another player who then missed a second shot. And Suchko sent a couple nice balls right into the middle. Sometimes it's not always what the best players are doing scoring. It's sometimes what they're doing without the ball or to send it into players other than themselves out there. As this one will be sent into Baker, scooped clean but shot low to the left side. I think she's going to want that one back, but possession will remain with the Eagles. Romancic there on that backside. Benoit into Gomez in the middle. Gomez over towards Whidden. The Whidden in towards Baker, who I think she had a pretty clear lane towards the goal on that missed shot attempt, but tried to go low and just missed off that left post by a couple inches. As this one's into Baker, as she misses again, as that one was knocked up over the crossbar, I believe, by Reedy.
Well, the Vikings have done a much better job defending, making some adjustments. They've been loading up that right side that the Eagles have been favoring on their attack, and it's been paying off so far. Eagles still trying to struggle to get the ball in, but
as Vietz gets one scooped clean out of the air by the Vikings, who are going to win it at the far end of the field. It's White with it now, up to Suchko. Suchko can't quite manage to corral it, but he's going to have enough time to get that ball for the Vikings. That's number 7 inside, scoop and score. Madison White will make this a 3-4 ball game, as she took that one right up the middle of the Eagles' defense and scored that one.
Well, initially I thought the Eagles were going to get away with a couple of mistakes there. They left Suchko all alone, and that little miscontrol for her was able to hold off the goal for now, but then she gets it back.
A great shot there from White, who makes that her 3rd goal in her career as junior, but only in her 2nd season with this team. And that'll bring the Vikings within 1 with only 8 seconds left in this first quarter. Not much time left. And great job by the Vikings to kind of end this first quarter on a positive note.
Yeah, like you said, a positive note is huge coming into a second quarter where there's still a lot of room to make up for the Vikings. It feels like it's a lot bigger margin than it is just a one score game at this point, but it feels a little bit more dominated by the Eagles. The scoring for the Vikings has kind of been limited to Suchko or what Suchko is involved in. So we'll see what adjustments can be made at this point heading into the second quarter.
And we'll be back in just a minute 45 here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Once again, I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Ethan Moss.
Nothing runs like a deer.
Whether you have a lawn to mow, a driveway to plow, or a garden to till, our customers know you can't beat the quality and reliability of a John Deere.
And right now at Greenway Equipment Sales, we have a great offer for you.
Get 0% APR fixed rate financing for 72 months on a John Deere compact utility tractor with a 6-year powertrain warranty.
For more offers, go to greenwayequipment.com.
See the Smith Brothers today at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth, and Bangor.
And welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. The Eagles lead this one 4-3 after Madison White scored a late goal right in the end of that first quarter, Ethan, to bring this game back within one. And like you said right before the break, make it feel a little bit more even out there for the Vikings, who it seems like the Eagles have had the lion's share of the scoring opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Eagles have been doing a great job defensively as well, adjusting to Suchko and really trying to seal up a lot of her lanes, but still with their struggles with Suchko involved in 2 out of the 3 goals here for the Vikings.
And these two teams will switch sides as the Vikings will move to the right side of your screen and the Eagles to your left. And it will be Gomez in the middle here. And that was against White there, a little bit of a different draw control, and she'll send it back towards her team. Gomez fighting for it still. That one will bounce down, and Benoit will wind up with the ball eventually. There were several players who had a chance at that one. Veets over to Whitten. Whitten sends it in towards Benoit. Benoit slips a little bit there. And she'll send it back to Gomez. Gomez in towards Veets, who switches her hand, scores the goal for the Eagles, 5-3, as she streaked right in around the crease there. Nice little short goal from her.
Yeah, again, wrapping around the goal and right into that crease. Tough to really defend against, especially if you've just got a little extra speed than the defender on you. And just working herself free. Nice move. Switch the hands. Great goal.
And the Eagles will make this one 5-3, just 40 seconds into this second quarter. And a great little goal there from Veets to get that one home for the Eagles. And it's White here in the middle again. We saw Schmink several times in that first quarter, but a little bit of a change out there for the Vikings. And Gomez wins that one easily as she'll pop it up to herself. She loses the ball and a little bit of good defense there as Suchko is playing some up-the-field defense on her. Gomez over the top to Martinez. Martinez inside. She'll slow this one down, send it over towards Whitten. And Whitten's going to take this one across. And There will be a 3-second violation out there on number 19, Hannah Cochran. And that will give Whidden a free position shot there as Cochran spent too much time inside of that middle arc. And Whidden will take this. And she'll go low with it. Save there by Reedy. Nice job by her. She's done a great job on those low shots, it seems. Most of the goals for the Eagles have come at that upper part of the net, but Reedy's done a great job of controlling that lower part of her goal. They will call the foul there on Martinez, and Suchko will use that speed to try to take it up the field. She'll get fouled again, but we'll keep going with it. Of course, in lacrosse, you can just kind of keep running with it, even if you get fouled. That one will be sent around the back towards Barry.
Felt like she had a better chance to try and go for the goal right off of that pass, but elects to settle down a little bit.
And I think part of that is this offense that likes to kind of slow it down a little bit. We haven't seen them really take those fast break kind of chances and more try to get their best players open in the middle. As Suchko will go inside shot. Low score there from her as she uses that speed yet again, make it 4-5, and the hat trick for her in this one. And a great little move from Suchko to just kind of take that one herself, and we've seen that from her early in this one already, Ethan.
Yeah, like you said, just taking it herself, that's kind of been what she's been doing for, it seems like her whole career. 43 goals coming into this one for Suchko. Again, the senior out of Revere, Massachusetts. And just a midfielder, actually, not even an attacker to score that many goals. So versatile on both ends of the ball.
You saw her start that play off over here on this defensive side, like you said, midfielder, and take that one all the way up the field, and then take it herself inside as Gomez will pop this one up. And one there from Schmink as she'll take the free position, or the draw control, that is, again for the Vikings. That one will go over to White. She's going to lose possession of it, but the Vikings will have enough time to scoop that one back up. Parthen over towards Schmink, who's going to send this one back towards White. White makes a nice little spin, tries to send it over the top to Schmink, but Booth is there to knock that one away and take the ball back for the Eagles. Booth is a junior defensive player for the Eagles, as this will be Baker taking it all the way up the left side. And she'll slow it back down and allow the rest of her team to kind of catch up with her. As Martinez over towards Benoit. Benoit to Whidden. Whidden's going to lose control of that on a little bit of a spin move inside, but remain with possession. Gomez tries to take it inside, but locked down there as Benoit's going to loop it around and try to score there, but Reedy saves again. As Reedy will make another close-up save there.
Well, Deb Jean, the freshman defender for the Vikings, has done a great job of really congesting kind of that scoring area. It's been very hard for the Eagles to work around her, and she's been causing a lot of these slower shots that we've been seeing and making the saves a little bit easier for Reedy.
And wide open in the middle of the field was number 21, Jenna Wells, on the transition play. The Eagles got caught a little bit off guard on that one as the Vikings took the ball up the field fast and scored that goal on Godfrey.
So a good way to answer for the Vikings coming out of that first quarter break, tying the game back up at 5. So it looks like we're in for a good one here today.
And it will be Gomez in the middle here, but I saw several Eagles defenders kind of streaking up the field. I think they just got caught a little bit off guard. The Vikings have been taking it pretty slow all game, but changed it around on that play. As that one will be won by number 19 out there, Hannah Cochran. She's going to take it up the left side, chased by Martinez. Cochran over to Sajuko. Suchko with some speed inside, knocked away by Booth. Or Heth, pardon me on that one. But Suchko will remain with possession of it. And she's got some scary speed up there on offense, Ethan.
Yeah, just watching her, she's got great acceleration to go with it as well, which is a deadly combination for Lacrosse. You sit her behind the goal, and she can probably wrap around a lot easier than some of these other women.
Little pass into Wells. She'll get fouled on that one, and she'll get a free position. She'll be able to take this one from just right or left of center, that is. And, of course, Wells scoring just a minute ago. She'll take a quick shot there from distance. Saved by Godfrey. That's why you usually see them take that one in a little bit more. I haven't seen that often in women's lacrosse.
It's an interesting decision. I think it's a move to try and just get the full offense working. Maybe not the best taker for a free position, so use it as an opportunity to really reset your offense, run a scripted play.
Also get Godfrey off guard. She's used to having the player come in for several steps and then take that shot, but if you take that shot right off of the whistle, it can sometimes get them off guard. As this will be another free position attempt from the Vikings, as Parthen will send this one wide and left, scooped up by Godfrey. Godfrey is going to send this one over the top, and it'll be Viets who's going to lose possession of it. As that will be a foul there again on the Eagles. And will be another free position attempt here coming up. I believe that's Wells again. As that will be a shot low and score there for the Vikings to make them take the lead that they have not had this entire game.
Yeah, so the first lead for the Vikings, we've seen a little bit of a turnaround. The offense moving a little bit quicker than we've been seeing at this point in the game. So catching the Eagles a little bit lacking on the defensive side. And substitution starting to pay off. They've been involved, both Parthen and Barry, getting involved on these goals and helping this offense on for the Vikings.
I think that was actually Aislinn Bennett out there, 20 instead of 21. Great goal by her on that free position attempt. Freshman, the first goal of her career as well out there.
Husson has to do a little bit better job of getting these draw controls right away. Too much time fighting over it has been really what's been costing them trips to the offensive side.
And like you said, again, the Vikings come away with it as that's Cochran. Seems like Gomez has been popping it up in that direction, but can't manage to win the one after that. And this will be sent around the backside. It's Barry. And be now over to Suchko. Suchko will send this over to Parthen. And she'll send it back to Suchko. Lost it there for a second, but managed to keep possession of it. Suchko's going to use that speed inside. Caught and score from her as she takes some hard contact and makes a goal from pretty good distance there.
Yeah, deep goal, like you said, almost outside of that primary arc, and just sends one right inside. A little bit of a screamer and gets in.
That's 4 now from Suchko on 4 shots, all 4 of them being on target.
Now Salem stayed up 2. Husson takes that timeout. So we'll see what Coach Deshays throws together here for the Eagles.
And we'll be back in just a minute here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Choosing a school is really difficult, but I have never felt like I should have gone somewhere else.
The thing I like about the school, the class sizes are smaller.
Making friends is easier here because of the fact that you are such a tight-knit community.
I was shooting around a basketball. That's how I met my first friend.
You meet a lot of new people from different areas of the world.
I feel like I've grown so much here. And there's so many amazing people that work here to learn from.
I definitely made the right decision coming to Husson.
And back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network, I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Ethan Moss. And Salem State has been on a little bit of a run against the Eagles as they make this a 7-5 game, as they've scored 4 goals to 1 in this second quarter of play.
Again, we're going to see a little change up for the Eagles. It's going to be Avery Baker now taking the draw control against Schmink. So we'll see if this adjustment pays off, sort of like it did against UMass Dartmouth just last week.
Yeah, and we saw in that one that Thomas, who had been winning the lion's share of those draw controls against Gomez, they brought Martinez in. Martinez took over the draw control place for the rest of the game, and she didn't win that many, but she also managed to kind of slow down Woodland Thomas, who, of course, was the draw control player for Dartmouth out there, and she did a great job. But we see Avery Baker here send this one out to the left. A little bit of a strategy change on those draw controls. And the Eagles will have offensive possession. And Whidden's going to take this one over the left side. She shoots and scores there from the Eagles as they score right off the timeout. That offensive adjustment certainly paid off for them as Whidden took that one herself and made it 7-6.
Well, a quick response right out of the timeout is exactly what you want for the Eagles. Now only down 1, and just a great goal from Whitten. She's working a lot to her left and then just stops, slings it on the right side, and catches Reedy off guard. And on a rare low shot, miss from her.
And we've seen Whidden a lot this season send that, like, from that spot, take a pass and try to send it over. But on that one, she took it herself and made a pretty distant shot. And it will be Baker out there, again, to take that free position, or the draw control, that is. We saw her kind of send it over towards the sideline on that last one. As they're looking to get set and ready for this one. And that one will get popped up in the air. Taken away there by White. Nice job by her to scoop that one right out of the air. And the Vikings will send those offensive players out there yet again. This one finds its way to Suchko. Suchko inside to White. Shot and score over the top of Godfrey. Suchko makes a perfect little pass right into the middle on that one.
Salem answers right back.
As it looks like they're not going to call that one a goal. Pardon our call on that one. I didn't see the foul call on that, but might have been a crease violation on that one, and the Eagles will have transition up this left side.
That's what it appears to be.
And it'll be Viets with it now. So will be sent over towards Benoit. Up top to Baker. And Martinez will make a move inside here, and she's going to take a score and make it for the Eagles to tie this one back up as Martinez takes it herself and scores for the Eagles.
Well, going back and forth here already in the second after that timeout by the Eagles, so good adjustments on both sides. And this one shaping up to be a little bit of a slugfest here today.
That is the 5th goal of the season for number 12, the freshman Layla Martinez, member of the Husson basketball team, who kind of made a basketball a little bit of a cut inside there to try to get that one, as we'll take another look at it. And the Eagles will tie this one back up, a little bit of a 4-1 at the start of the second quarter in goal differential for the Vikings, and now the Eagles have made 2 straight to tie this game back up. And Baker will not win the draw control again as White takes it up the middle. White inside, shot there, but blocked away by the Eagles. That was Jenna Wells who tried to take a very contested shot on that one. And Godfrey will get to the end line first and get that one. It's not probably where you really want your goalkeeper, as Heth will send this one up towards Dorn, who does a nice job to scoop that one right out of the air. Second nice job there on a pass to Baker, who makes a nice little cut to the outside. Baker's going to go inside with it. Switch hands, lefty shot there. Score for the Eagles as Baker takes it with her opposite hand on that one.
Well, great job by Baker. She was open on the right side early and just gets the ball. Doran does a good job getting the ball to her and lets Baker do the rest of the work.
Nice little cut on about 20 yards away from the goal to give herself a little bit of space, and then she just took it inside and forced the issue and then took that one with her opposite hand, and great bit of skill out there from her.
The Eagles regain the lead on that one. See those adjustments continuing to pay off. Keep the momentum going in the Eagles' favor. And with the way goals have been coming, they could run away with this one easily.
3 unanswered goals now for the Eagles since that timeout. And Baker is 1 of 3 on these draw control plays against White out there. And that one will get popped up in the air. It'll be Benoit against Cochran out there, and it will be Layla Martinez who winds up scooping it up on a play that kind of bounced around between a few players on that far middle of the field. This one's into Baker. Baker has a head of steam in front of her. Over to Gomez. Gomez with the shot, low, blocked, and it will be Reedy with the ball. As this one is be a little bit of 50-50 ball on that far side, but scooped up by the Vikings. Reedy will have it now.
Vikings still having a tough time trying to get the clearance out, and they've made their offensive substitutions with Partham and Barry.
And you can hear Coach Atkinson out there calling for a team to try to get this ball up the field. They've already allowed 50 seconds of time to leak out of that clock as Reedy takes it way up the field now. He's going to send this one inside towards Barry. Barry's going to take it up. Only about 30 seconds here left to shoot as the Eagles did a great job of kind of slowing down that clear play.
It's the first time they've really challenged a lot on the clearance.
This will be over to Suchko. Inside to White. Missed shot there off of the post. And that will reset the clock back to 60 seconds and give this team a little bit more time. And Suchko's going to turn on the Jets and take this one inside towards White. Shot saved by Godfrey. As she did a great job there to knock that one away. Godfrey's going to take it around the backside.
Yeah, great save by Godfrey. Again, from point blank from White, who's got a nice, powerful shot. It's a great reaction by her as the Eagles turn it back over.
As that one was turned over between, I believe that was Viets and Benoit in the middle of the field here, and the Vikings will slow it back down. 3 minutes and counting now left in this first half. And Suchko's going to take this one around the backside, and it will be handed off towards Wells, and we'll have a penalty 3-second violation on that one. We'll have a free position shot coming up here for number 21, Jenna Wells. And it will actually be number 4, Angela Berry, who's going to take this shot. And she'll try it fast. Saved off the right side by Godfrey, but possession will remain with the Vikings, who get it back in fast here. This is White with it now. Up top to Suchko, who's going to send it inside towards Wells, who takes a shot. Scored there as she was falling backwards. Great little goal from her to make a shot out of not a whole lot out over on that far side.
And Suchko doing a great job. Had a couple of very athletic goals for her.
This will be an 8-8 game so far, Ethan, already in the first half, and a great contest. A little bit of a bigger Husson crowd here today. Not obviously quite as big as it will probably get by the end of the season, but a little afternoon warm game here in March has allowed these fans to watch quite a good contest.
Yeah, absolutely. And we kind of expected this one to be a little bit closer and kind of a tight game played throughout most of this one, and it's shaping up to be every bit as that, but we expected a little bit more defensively rather than offensively, and that's been the tale of the tape so far.
As White will take this one clear. She's going to have a full head of steam in towards goal. Shot, score from her as she took the draw control herself and took it all the way up the field. And that's the danger of allowing a player to just get it right off the draw control, not allow that defense to get into their shell.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get back and set into that shell so quickly when you're also trying to play just in case that draw control comes your way. And it's a little bit hard, and we've seen it happen a few times so far this season where the defense gets caught off guard quickly off of a draw control on both sides of the ball for the Eagles.
And it will be Martinez now in that center circle for this draw control as the Eagles try to switch it up and maybe win some more of these in this second quarter. And it will be Martinez against White here in the middle. That one's popped up. White wins it again for the Vikings, but Martinez is hot on her trail. That one's looped over towards Schmink, who's going to try to get this one in, but poked away by the Eagles. As a Vikings player comes streaking in there to try to get it, but scooped up by the Eagles, who then give it away on that backside. and the Vikings will have possession of the ball.
Vikings caught in transition, put their defenders back on. Attackers still not on in those substitutions.
Yeah, and with only about a minute and a half left in this one, it looks like, and the 1-goal lead, it looks like they're going to be confident to keep those defensive players out there and not allow a goal in transition.
Yeah, smart move by Atkinson to really just play it safe to go into half with the lead.
Doran will be able to bring this ball all the way up the field. Like you said, they're going to try to do that as the Eagles will have possession with about a minute left here. As that one is turned over on the pass by Baker. A long ball all the way up the right side. It will be a foot race to that far sideline. And it will be won by the Eagles, who are going to scoop this one up right on the edge.
Well, generating that turnover with a nice interception was Carmen Lieberth, junior defender out of Naples, Florida. I'm sure we'd want to be there right now, but rather than in Maine, but great defensive play from her.
This one's over to Martinez. Only 30 seconds left in this first half. Shot clock doesn't really matter at this point. It's more game clock, as that one's going to get knocked up and over. I think Martinez's stick got bumped there on that one. Eagles will keep possession. Under 15 seconds now, as Baker's going to take this one herself inside. Whidden, never mind. And we'll see a foul there on Whidden, or against Whidden, I guess. And she'll be able to take a free position shot from a very shallow angle on this one. And only 6 seconds left. This will probably be about the last scoring chance of this first half. The Eagles will be looking to tie this one up as Whidden sends it inside to Benoit. Scoop and score. Nice pass there from the Eagles to net home the tying goal in this first half. 9-9 on a little bit of a setup play there. With the short angle, they took the pass instead of the shot on that one, Ethan.
Yeah, again, with that short angle, it's very tough to score directly off of the free position. So I think they were looking past the whole way, just a matter of who and for Salem trying to pick up who it was, but still catching them off guard. You expect it to go to Baker on a play like that, but still getting it done to tie it up just before half.
And Benoit nets her third goal of the game. Make that 8 on the season. She had 16 last year and was one of those key offensive players for the Eagles. This season, it's been a lot of Baker, but some of these other players have been stepping up in these last couple games.
The offense seems to run through Baker, but still plenty of other contributors to start off. But I think one question for Husson is a lot of those midfielders, if they have the scoring depth to keep up with some of these teams that have a lot of scoring midfielders like the Vikings do.
And this is a pretty meaningless draw control with only 2 seconds left in this first half. Won by the Eagles, though, and they'll go into the half 9-9 as we saw an exciting second quarter there with 6 goals for Salem State and 5 for the Eagles. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network, probably more like 8. But the Eagles and the Salem State Vikings will go into this one tied 9-9 at halftime. For the Husson Eagles Sports Network, I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Ethan Moss. Don't go anywhere.
Choosing a school is really difficult, but I have never felt like I should have gone somewhere else.
The thing I like about the school, the class sizes are smaller.
Making friends is easier here because of the fact that you are such a tight-knit community.
I was shooting around a basketball. That's how I met my first friend.
You meet a lot of new people from different areas of the world.
I feel like I've grown so much here. And there's so many amazing people that work here to learn from.
I definitely made the right decision coming to Husson.
Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Ethan Moss, and we have a barn burner here today, Ethan. 9-9 in the first half. So it was back and forth scoring for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this one's going to be one of those games that's ending like 21-18, something like that. It's been a great offensive spectacle here today, and looking for that to keep going despite adjustments that can be made at halftime. A lot of times we see those adjustments hold up for just a few minutes, and then the scoring breaks loose again. So we'll see. It's going to be a good second half here, 9-9. So really not too much more to go after.
Yeah, and we'll see if those adjustments help offensively or defensively. I oftentimes see in a lot of sports you make adjustments at halftime, and sometimes whoever makes those stronger adjustments are the ones that are the more dominant out there, and it's not always the offense who benefits from them, and it's not always the defense who benefits from it. And it will be Martinez in the middle who won that final draw control with 2 seconds left in that first half. So a little bit of a positive ending for the Eagles, who obviously scored with only 3 seconds left on that nice bang-bang play from Whidden to Benoit in the middle of the field. As that one's knocked up, Martinez is going to come away with it as she wins back-to-back draw controls out there. And that's something that we saw a lot. A lot of those transitional goals for the Vikings came on those quick draw control wins in the middle. As a shot and save there for the Vikings.
Well, very quick, good shot attempt for the Eagles. Again, that was Avery Baker on that one, I believe. And just another great save by Reedy, handling the heat off the stick of Baker.
And it'll be Gomez pushing her to the outside here. That one's low. Scooped up by Veet on the bounce here. Veet over to Whidden, and the Eagles are on offense again. Whidden slows it down. She's going to send it over that right side, over towards Martinez. Martinez is going to find her way into the middle. And it will be another 3-second violation. We've seen quite a few of those in this game, Ethan.
Yeah, we didn't see any against UMass Dartmouth just a week ago, and now I believe that's the fourth one today.
And Martinez will take the free position shot, and it will be saved there, and the Vikings will scoop it back up. And that rule, of course, there's 2 arcs right around the goal there, and the shorter one in there, there's a smaller one on the inside of that. You can't, as a defender, you can't be inside of that for more than 3 seconds, or it becomes a violation. You see a lot of defenders, they'll step in and step back out. Usually they give you a kind of a second barrier on there, but in this one, the Vikings have been finding themselves straggling into that spot.
Well, back on that other possession, the Vikings almost caught the Eagles' defense totally off guard. Jenna Wells was just snuck in behind and trying to get a pass up to her with Suchko, and draws the free position.
And pass over to Suchko. She'll take a shot, miss there. First one there is the Vikings, and they'll scoop it up. And that's Partham with it now. She's going to send it over to Wells. Interesting little draw control play there on that one as they tried to pass it that backside to Suchko, but didn't work against this Eagles defense. That one's up towards Bennett. Partham with it now. Suchko inside towards White. But the Eagles will knock that one away, and that will be number 17, Montana Carrier, who's going to pick that one up for the Eagles. And a missed pass there on that 5 side between Carrier and number 24, Jory Boyd.
And that's the first time we've seen the Vikings really pressure on a clearance attempt from Husson, and it pays off. They get the ball right back.
And this will be Suchko over the top, but scooped up by Godfrey, who did a nice job of clearing her line there a little bit. Godfrey sends this one all the way up the field towards Booth. Booth tries to send it over towards Wynn, but another turnover for the Eagles as they've had some turnover trouble in the second half. It'll be White over to Suchko. Suchko takes it inside over the top, and it will be Bennett who gets fouled right there on the middle of the field, and she'll get a pretty straight-on shot attempt here. Misses to the left side. The Eagles do a nice job of closing that shot attempt down.
Yeah, really not a lot of space to go there to try and get a good shot, but goes wide and still maintaining possession.
And that will be a missed pass over there, but it looks like Cochran will have enough time to keep that one inbounds. And it will be the Vikings bringing this one back inside.
Eagles have to be careful. They're pressed up against the crease.
Suchko will take a shot there and saved by Godfrey. I think that one hit that right post. And a great job there by Godfrey to kind of be heads up and scoop that one up as the Eagles give the ball away in the midfield again. And I think that's that pressure that you talked about, that a little bit of a defensive adjustment out there for the Vikings. And Schmink will go to her right and then back to her left. Tries a kind of over the head shot. Scooped up by Benoit right in the middle of the field. Benoit sends it up towards Baker, who has enough time to control that one. And Baker's going to send it over towards Whidden. Whidden with a shot and score for the Eagles as they make it 10-4 as Whidden takes that one herself with her left hand and makes the goal on that one.
So great job by Whitten throwing off the defense a little bit. Again, expecting to probably go to Baker on that one. Baker was pretty open herself, but Whitten takes it herself. Nice goal down low.
Yes, sometimes it pays to be a little bit selfish on offense, and great job there by Whitten to slot that one home into that left side netting. And it will be Martinez in the middle here, who's had some success as of late against White on these draw control plays. That one is sent over towards Benoit, who can't manage to quite hold on to it. And it will be White who scoops it up. And that's Viets who loses her footing on the attempted caused turnover there in the middle of the field. I've seen a couple players slip right in that center area there. I wonder if there might be a little bit of a slippery piece of turf right in there.
Looks to be. Again, it's right around that area where the two shooting areas for lacrosse meet the line for soccer. So it maybe right around there, a little slippery. We've had a little bit of moisture past couple of days.
I think that's also where in men's lacrosse they take a lot of their shots from as well. Could be something. It's early season. I know turf is always kind of slippery in this kind of cold conditions. A lot of field managers really like the turf to kind of warm up and get a little bit more grippy out there. But in this, it's a little bit cold, and it can make that turf a little bit slippery as Suchko misses a shot attempt there. She streaked right across the front of that Husson defense.
Well, Suchko almost went coast to coast again off of a turnover caused by a slip behind the goal.
And it will be Barry with it now. Over towards Partham. Partham tries to slot that one in. She does to Wells. Wells takes a shot over the top of the goal there. Suchko will be the first one to get that one.
Again, a great pass inside and then just nowhere to go for Wells. Again, she had Montana Carrier on her. I think that's kind of the matchup that the Eagles have been wanting.
And the Vikings will try to send that one over the top, but Booth is there to pick it up. She gets fouled on the clearance attempt, and she'll send it all the way up towards Whidden. Whidden's got Baker in front of her with no one by her. She's going to continue taking it herself over to Baker. Baker holds on. Baker inside to Martinez. Missed pass there, but Doran there to scoop it up on the far side. The Eagles almost had a good transitional play there, but some good last-ditch defending from the Vikings. Benoit will take this one inside and score over the right upper hand shoulder of Reedy as Benoit gets her 4th goal of this game.
Well, Benoit getting in close and just laying it in over the shoulder of Reedy. Again, a lot of these goals have come vertically, working vertically side to side. And it's really been catching Reedy off guard. Reedy's been so good down low and a lot of these heaters again as well.
And that's one of Benoit's favorite places to take those shots from, kind of right around. She kind of gets right on the edge of the crease there and loops around right into the front and takes those short-sided goals. And great job from her to get that one for the Eagles to make it an 11-9 lead. 2 goals up by the Eagles now, both of them coming in this 3rd period. And it will be Martinez against White here in the middle of the field. That one's popped up and taken by the Vikings. And number 10, Schmink, will go down hard there with some contact on Benoit. And Schmink will have full reign to take that one up the field, and she'll send it over towards the right side and then back onto the back side of the field to Wells. This is Suchko with it now. She's going to turn on that speed and score for the Vikings, who make it a 10-11 game, as that her speed just came into play there on that one.
Again, yeah, just accelerates quickly, heads right towards the middle, and then gets a nice backhand shot off. Catches Godfrey off guard. Godfrey moving to the right, trying to stop that one, and again, Suchko sends it left.
And that's 5 goals in this one for Suchko, who she equals their total number for the season coming into this one in just this game alone. It's been a good offensive game for this Vikings team.
Some members of the men's lacrosse team showing up after a very successful road trip for them over break. Sport their women as well.
Like you said, a very successful trip for them. Usually a lot of the Husson teams during that spring season against some out-of-conference teams, it's not always the most successful season or successful part of their season, but this year that Husson's team kind of dominated down there. They lost pretty badly to Westland, Virginia, but won the rest of their games, or most of the rest of their games down there, and showed some offensive prowess down there.
And a lot of these spring break trips we see for softball and baseball and lacrosse are really just aiming to go 500, and that's kind of the goal. Baseball and softball doing a good job hanging right around that 500 mark, coming back to Maine, and then men's lacrosse, again, only that loss to Wesleyan, and Wesleyan is one of the best in the nation at D3.
And Suchko will show her speed out there, some great footwork, as she'll try to send this one in, knocked away by the Eagles, scooped up by number 12, Kai Hollingsworth for the Vikings. We sent over to Barry, who's going to take a shot off the right post. She'll be fouled on that one, and she'll get a free position shot from And that will actually go against number 4. And she'll get yellow carded and come off the sideline as well.
So that'll be a dangerous play call on Barry. Again, a lot of these fouls we see in women's lacrosse are related to safety of the players. Same sort of thing we see with field hockey, where really there's not much you can do to truly interfere with a player that is safe. So that's where most of those penalties come from.
And I think that was called a dangerous shot on that one, that if the defender, kind of like a charge call in basketball, if the defender can get into the right spot at the right time, you're not allowed to shoot that ball directly at their head level. And a great job by the Husson defense to draw that penalty and give themselves a woman up play here, as Gomez is going to take this one inside, and she'll be fouled there and take a free position shot here for the Eagles. They'll try to extend this back out to 2 goals. As Gomez will take this one inside, shoot low, get knocked down, and we'll see what the foul or the call is here, and it will remain with the Vikings on that one.
Looked like Gomez got tripped up, but again, after the play, so it does not matter.
And they'll clear this one up towards White, who has shown some excellent stick work in this one. Really good job at scooping up those ones that are low and bouncing in. And the Eagles are a little bit out of position here on defense, but managed to kind of recover from that, slow that offense down, get their team back into that defensive shell. And that's Schmink who's going to try to take it inside, but it will be Eagles who get to the ball first on the shot attempt.
Well, Hollingsworth on heading back the other way for the Vikings just a little bit ago, I thought she had a great opportunity to try and head in and catch the Eagles off guard, but she likes to go pass outside, so that may have been a missed opportunity they want to revisit.
And Martinez turns on the speed and takes this one all the way up the middle of the field. I'll be sent over to Whidden. Whidden plants a foot, but no go on that scoring attempt from her. Tries it again, back over towards Doran. Doran inside to Baker over the top, knocked away by the Vikings. Baker boxes her out, shot there, score from Baker as that one bounces its way into the goal. No goal there as that one bounced over the top. It looked like it might have found its way in, but just cleared that crossbar by an inch or two. As Gomez gets fouled on that one, and she'll get another free position attempt here. She missed that one a minute or two ago.
See what she can change to catch Reedy off guard.
And Gomez will go low with this one. Kick save there. Martinez scoops it up. And there will be a foul there on that one, and Martinez will get a free position shot from right at the top of the arc. And she'll take this one straight forward. Shot scored from Martinez there as the Eagles get that goal to make it 12-10 here in this third period.
And working to her left to bring Reedy out a little bit further into her crease, and then sends it on the left side.
And the Eagles will take that 12-10 lead with about 2:45 left in this third quarter. And this is I feel like a 2-goal lead going into the fourth. It's a nice little kind of cushion out there. You can, obviously in lacrosse, goals can get scored so fast. It can be a 2-goal lead, and then all of a sudden you're down by 2 in just a minute or two of play, just based off those draw control plays.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good spot to be in, but you're not comfortable yet. You need some more, a little bit more insurance heading into the fourth quarter if you want to feel a little bit more comfortable about where your team is at.
Well, in that game at Mass Maritime last weekend, they were outscored 5-2 in the fourth and wound up losing by 1. So they went into that fourth quarter being up 1 goal and then gave it away right near the end of the game. As Whitten's going to slow this one down. She's going to take a shot off the post there, and it'll be Dorn who's going to get the ball there off the missed shot attempt from Whitten. Dorn into Baker. Baker working against defenders. Baker is going to lose it there, and there'll be a foul there on number 16. And Doran will get to take this one in. Over to Benoit, who's in that little spot that she likes to shoot from, but nice job by the Vikings to slow that one down. Martinez loses control of the ball, but she'll scoop it back up.
Vikings have been playing a lot closer on defense this second half. They've been really putting a lot of pressure on the Eagles to try and move the ball quickly.
As Viets almost gets that one on a high ball up into the air that she didn't even really have control of. She was more just directing that towards the goal. And a missed clearance attempt there will give the Eagles the ball back.
Eagles doing a good job of recovering from a lot of these passes that have gone awry. Which is converse to the first half, where a lot of those passes going awry got the ball turned right back over to Salem.
And Martinez will get whacked in the head on that one. And we'll see a yellow card there on number 20, Aislinn Bennett, who will go to the sideline. Martinez will get a free position attempt here. 47 seconds left in this second quarter, or third quarter, that is.
Great opportunity for the Eagles to, again, extend this lead. Feel a little bit more comfortable heading into the fourth quarter.
And we saw Martinez score her last free possession attempt just a few minutes ago. And she'll do a similar one here. Save there by Reedy. And it will be the Eagles who are going to get the ball after the missed shot there. Nice job by Reedy. That one was on target, but a great save there. As Baker's going to split the defense. She takes it inside. Some nice stick work. Score from her. Give her the hat trick in this one as she kind of parts the Red Sea on that one and just finds her way right into the middle of the goal.
Well, again, a great job actually describing that one is parting the Red Sea, able to deke out the defense to really just go both ways and send it right in. Again, going a lot of high shots out of the Eagles today.
And a great goal from Baker on that one as she, like you said, split the defense and found her way into the back of the net, and that'll put the Eagles up 13-10. I think once you start getting into that 4 to 5 goal lead range, that's when it starts feeling a lot more comfortable. You can kind of drain the clock down and you have the ball on offense, and when you're on defense, you're not as likely to, if you give up that one goal, it's not a tie game all of a sudden.
Yeah, you don't feel as pressured on defense, which allows you to, sometimes think a little bit clearly. That sometimes that pressure gets to you. A lot of times where, you have to perform. If I don't perform well defensively, we're going to tie the game or maybe lose the game. So that added goal takes a lot of pressure off of the defense.
And that Baker goal also was scored while being a woman up on that one. Could have been part of the problem with them on defense out there is that they were playing a player down and it allowed the Eagles to have that mismatch out there. But Baker with a great goal gives the Eagles the 13-10 lead going into the fourth quarter. We'll be back in 2 minutes or so here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
If you want a place where you can be seen as an individual and know what you're doing and have a career to look forward to, this is your place.
Back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network, I'm Avery Henningsen alongside Ethan Moss, and we're just about to get set for this final 15 minutes of play between the Husson University Eagles versus the visiting Salem State Vikings. The Eagles took the 13-10 lead on the back of a 4-1 third quarter there in goals, and the Eagles have the advantage going here into this fourth.
Yeah, and the advantage can't be understated. Again, we talked a little bit about it, is that defense gets a lot of pressure taken off of them with the more goals that they have, and sort of that padding, where they feel like I'm not totally pressured to not let up a goal here. So again, it takes a lot of that stress off. You perform a little bit better. So we'll see how true that rings in this fourth quarter.
And it will be Martinez against White. Martinez has had a little bit of more success on these draw controls in that third quarter than the Eagles had in the first half. That one will be knocked up and knocked around, and it will be Schmink who's going to come away with it, but she's going to get it knocked away, and it will be turned over back to the Eagles. That one's around in the middle of the field. Player comes in off the sideline during that substitution, and I think she kind of helped that team without her being over there. That would have been an Eagles ball. And Whitten's going to take this one up the left side. He's going to let that Husson offense move their way up into that offensive part of the field. This one's into Martinez, who's going to get knocked in the back, and it will be given away. And they're going to call her on the foul there. This one's sent up to White. White moves her way past Booth, and the Eagles are a little bit short-handed on defense here. But a missed pass there will give the Eagles the ball on that far sideline, or far end line, that is. And it'll be freshman Boyd bringing it up the field now. She's going to loft one up towards Whitten. Whitten takes this one across the field into Benoit. Benoit has a little bit of room in front of her. She's going to take this one towards the right side and slow this offense back down. The Eagles are starting to get into that part of the time in this game where they're okay letting the clock run down a little bit. They don't need to take the shot right as soon as they can get it.
And they did a great job of that to close out the third quarter as well, using a lot of clock on that last possession before getting the goal out of it too, which is exactly what you want.
And Gomez is going to loop it all the way around the back. 50 seconds drained off just in this possession alone. And the Eagles are going to take this down to a minute with the ball now. And Whidden will take a shot on that one, and they're going to give her the goal there as that one found its way into the back of the net. Great job by Whidden as that one was definitely an interesting goal. Nobody was really celebrating. I think there was a foul call, but they wound up giving it to Whidden on that one. Now we'll give her a hat trick in this one as well. The third player on this Husson team to do it in this high-scoring affair for the Eagles. They go up 14-10.
And this is the part where you really start to feel like you're in a good spot. Again, you have 12 minutes left on the clock, and certainly you can score 4 goals in that amount of time if you're Salem State. But the way your offenses are rolling, you feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, and you're in that good spot, but you can't allow the other team to come back. We saw the Celtics do it 3 or 4 weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago now, where they were up big, took all their starters out, and then all of a sudden
they
wound up losing that game.
Wasn't pretty.
But the Eagles do not plan on doing that, as Martinez is going to take this one up the field, up towards Baker. Baker's going to make a little move to the right. She goes inside, switches hands, and then she's going to bring it all the way back out.
Lieberth did a great job for the Vikings to seal up that lane that Baker had.
And Wynn's going to take this one across the field. Shot there, saved, though, by Reedy, as Wynn had a wide open look on goal on that one. Baker is very talented on those plays where she kind of, as Benoit steps in front, she's going to go inside. Great turnover, or great takeaway by Benoit on that one, as she kind of read that play before it started.
Yeah, like you said, just read that right away, intercepted it, and then almost had a great lane right to the crease, but again, sealed up by the Vikings.
Benoit's going to send this one over towards Whidden. But as I was saying with Baker, Baker does a great job that if she senses that little bit of space on either side, she's more than confident in taking that one herself. You don't always see that from players, but Baker's very good at moving left to right with the stick. And you might see it here that if she can get that little bit of space, she'll take it herself.
And it's that sort of like maturity and game sense that you usually don't see out of freshmen. And she's just doing a great job of being mature at the college level and reading plays well.
And Suchko is going to take that one away, send it up towards Partham. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those offensive players stay out there for a little bit longer than that kind of quick substitution, just because the Vikings are now down 4.
And they kept Partham on after that last substitution, so she stayed throughout that entire offensive possession for the Eagles. So they're looking to try and get back quickly should they get a turnover.
It will allow the Eagles to have a little bit easier time on offense, you would think, with one less player out there, as Suchko is going to take a shot off of Godfrey, leaks its way back out towards Schmink. This one's back out towards Wells. Wells to Suchko. I think Suchko is a player who, if they were to come back in this one, she would be someone who's going to have to step up big over these last couple minutes. Obviously, she's already stepped up big for this team in this game, as that one's a little ground ball right through Godfrey's legs, as that one finds its way into the back of the net somehow.
Well, I think that one was just more of a happy little accident, as our dear friend Bob Ross would say. That one just kind of bounced off of Wells's stick and leaks its way into the goal.
It was kind of on the ground. A couple players were trying to knock at it, and Wells was the one who got the good contact on it and sent it right underneath Godfrey. And those are those low ones that are so difficult to reach as a goalkeeper that it's really kick save or no save on those types of plays. And that will bring the Vikings back within 3. And Martinez and White are going to send this one up in the air. Taken away by Baker on that one. Some nice stick control on that one, and she's going to get double teamed on the backside. The Eagles are going to slow it back down. They would love to make it back to a 4-goal lead on this possession. Gomez is going to take it all the way across the field. Martinez makes a nice little move inside. She's going to get fouled there by the Vikings, and she'll get a free position shot here from right at the top of the right here.
Contact looked minimal on that one, but obviously enough to get the penalty called.
Martinez tries to take it quickly. No go off that left side, but the Eagles will remain with possession of the ball. And it will be number 23, Lacey Scanlon, another one of those Husson basketball players coming out there for the Eagles to replace Abigail Booth in the middle of the field. Gomez makes a nice move inside. Save there by Reedy. Nice stick save on that one as Gomez tried to go high.
And Reedy missed a couple of really good clear opportunities. Jenna Wells again wide open on the left side of the field and just missed by Reedy.
As Benoit steps in front of it again, Gomez goes down hard. It will remain possession with the Vikings. As that one tries to go over the top, Godfrey's going to come way off her line to get that one. She's going to send it over towards number 7, Sydney Heth, who's going to get shoved out, and they'll call the foul, I would think, on number 2, Partham out there. And they do indeed, and Heth will remain with possession of the ball. Heth is going to loop one over the top towards Whidden. Whidden's working against Rowe. He's going to take it up the right side, try to drain some more of this clock down. Under 8 minutes to play now. Whidden over to Martinez, to Gomez. Gomez inside to Baker. Baker gets control of it. Shot, missed there. They're going to call a dangerous shot on Baker, it looks like.
Well, with 3 defenders on her, she really had no option to pass it out, so she goes to try and go for the shot, and obviously too high for that call.
And the Eagles aren't going to want to have that out there, as they're not going to be a player down with that 3-goal lead. At least for them, it's an offensive player, and they don't really need that offense at the moment, but it will give the Vikings a chance to come back in this one playing a woman up. And some conference between the referees on this one.
I think they're trying to figure out who to award possession to in that case. I believe that they called fouls actually on both teams.
And it will be possession, I believe, in the favor of the Vikings here. As this one will get sent up to the right, I'm sure the Eagles will probably drop some players back while being a woman down here to make sure they can keep that good defense out there. As it'll be Schmink over towards Suchko. Inside, shot there, saved by the Eagles. That one's going to get knocked up and over, and it will remain with the Vikings. And a missed pass there on that one. But the Vikings are there to scoop it up. And this one will get scooped up by Godfrey.
Seems like that one was rolling around there forever. What a great clearance all the way up to Martinez.
And Martinez is going to take this one right up the middle of the field. And Baker will be off the field for around 5 minutes. Obviously, we're about 2 minutes into that, but the Eagles will be a woman down for several minutes here. Unless there's a goal, then she can go back out on the field, similar to the same kind of hockey comparison that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, again, it's essentially a power play. It's the best way to put it.
And Whitten's going to make a little move up the right side. And she'll be able to run this clock down a little bit, as it looks like Baker's going to go head back out there. But Neut's shot is saved on that far end. The Eagles would have liked that one to go in, as it will be Scanlon against this Vikings offense. That one's into Suchko, who's going to turn on the Jets. She has some room out there. She's going to take a shot. Missed there, but she managed to hold on to it.
Great job by Scanlon, sticking tough, making these shots hard.
Very similar to sort of basketball defense out there, that I think she's more just playing man versus man out there and letting her basketball instincts come into play, as that's number 12, Kai Hollingsworth, who goes down hard right in front of the goal. It looks like she'll get a free position attempt here to try to bring this one back within 2, and they can get this one. They're still going to have 5 minutes left to play, and this could be a good or a big play here for both teams.
And it puts the Eagles in a tough spot as well if she's able to convert it.
And the Eagles lock that one down, as that shot goes up and over the top, as 2 defenders closed right in front of her and allowed no shooting attempt on that one. And they'll give it over to Suchko, who's going to lose it, and Eagles are kind of predicting those passes over to Suchko, as she is by and far been the leading contributor for this Vikings team, and they're just kind of trying to get her to have the ball, as Baker manages to hold on to it out there. And some great skill by her will allow the Eagles to take a shot there, but missed and retaining possession of it. All these shots allow the Eagles to drain some more time off that clock, as it will keep on running. As Gomez will commit a foul there. And they're going to have her come over the sideline now, as the Vikings will be up a player again here with under 4 minutes to play now.
Again, still a little bit of a tough spot for the Eagles. Still a 3-goal lead. But again, with the woman up, advantage for the Vikings, it can change pretty quickly. Trying to figure out exact timing between the referees and our clock operator.
That was one of those bang-bang plays that can sometimes be tough on the communication, where the clock gets stopped before anybody even knows what's happening. And the referees will add about 5 seconds to the game clock, which has now ticked off now, and the Eagles will be scrambling to play defense here, as the Vikings are going to take this one all the way up the middle of the field. Shot there, as a power shot inside will bring the Vikings back within 2.
Well, just a great job by Hannah Cochran, just taking it all the way, almost coast to coast. I guess about as coast to coast as you can get. And just a powerful shot, like you said, right at the end. Puts now this one within 2.
Yeah, great job by Cochran there. The Eagles might have been missing Gomez in that defensive side of her role in the middle of the field there. She's often plays that kind of center midfielder, sort of role. Obviously, it's a lot looser in lacrosse than some of the other field sports, such as soccer, but that's going to give the Vikings a good chance here to potentially try to come back in this one. 3:42 left in this final quarter. The Eagles are up 2. I think this draw control could be a big play in this decision part of this game.
Absolutely.
As this one is popped up, Martinez comes away with it, and the Eagles will get that advantage of winning that draw control. And they'll, A, be able to have a chance to try to get a goal here and make this 3 again, and B, be able to run a lot of this clock down if they can keep possession of the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them just hold on to it here, work it all the way around, back and forth, and run this clock down to 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, again, chewing this out as much as they can. They got about 60 more seconds that they can chew off without needing to take a shot. And I think that they're just going to be content to, like you said, just pass it around and just waste as much of this time as they can.
Well, what they're doing is you can see they're playing quite wide out there, and it's forcing this Vikings team to pull out and try to bring their defense out to steal the ball away. They can't allow them to just run the clock down. And if they pull that defense out, it allows the Eagles to potentially get some 1v1s, some players open right in the middle of the field.
Or some open lanes like we see right up the middle here.
As I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get over to Baker or Martinez to make one of their little moves inside. As that one gets stripped away, and that's best case scenario if you're a Vikings fan, as they're going to take this one away and not allow the Eagles to even get a shooting chance on this one. As this one goes into Schmink. Schmink has a pretty clear line in towards goal, over towards Suchko, who's going to score the shot on that far side. And who else but her to get the Vikings team back within 1.
Well, the Eagles defense just totally blew that one. Again, Suchko just wide open. You can't let that happen. You can't let the best player be left that open at that close to the goal. Again, she was pretty much standing right at the crease. Just takes that nice, easy pass and sends it right in. There's nothing the Eagles can do about that one. Should have been back with her.
That Eagles defense got put in a tough position that it was a 2v1 with Suchko and Schmink right there in the middle. And if you don't move them over, then if you don't step to Schmink, she takes that shot right on the bat. And if you leave Suchko open, you see what happens. And the Eagles will take a timeout here, try to make some adjustments as they're letting this one kind of slip through their fingers here in this 4th quarter a little bit. But we'll be back in about 2 minutes here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
If you want a place where you can be seen as an individual and know what you're doing and have a career to look forward to, this is your place.
And back here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network, the Vikings have brought this one back within 1. A great job by them to bring this game close again. They've outscored the Eagles 3-1 in this 4th quarter.
An outstanding game so far. And again, they switch it up with the draw control. Jenna Wells now out there.
And that switch up does not work for them, as it will be Vietz who's going to come away with it. And she's going to get blocked in the middle by White, who's going to then scoop it up.
Watch out again.
Who loses it to Heth, who then gives it over to Boyd, and that's a costly turnover from White, as she had some opening running room and a 3v1 on offense
and again,
up in front of her.
Taylor Suchko was wide open again on that one.
now the Eagles are going to be able to run this clock down even more. Minute 30. They'll be able to run this one pretty much down to 10, 20 seconds with that 1-goal lead. Win with it now, and I think the Eagles are going to try to run this down as far as they can.
Again, really, like you said, drawing that offense or that defense from the Vikings out as far as they can.
Well, barring a goal for the Eagles, best case scenario or worst case scenario for the Vikings is that they'll get the ball back with about 20 seconds because the Eagles are going to be forced to take a shot here at some point within the next 30 seconds or so. I wouldn't be surprised if they take that around that 15-second mark. Give themselves a chance to, if they do miss it, still have a chance. The Eagles were to take a shot and then get that rebound. Or not
now
the
down
rebound,
to 15 on the shot clock.
As Baker's going to take the shot and seal the deal for the Eagles as they'll go up to 32 seconds left. I shouldn't say quite seal the deal, but put them very much in the driver's seat as the Eagles will go up 15-13, 32 seconds left in this one.
Well, it's a huge goal from Baker. Again, right at that part where you don't know whether or not it's really going to seal the deal, but should just about do it at this point in the contest, and just a huge clutch goal for Baker. Again, freshman has just been lighting it up this year.
That puts her at 4 in this game, 15 on the season already. And we're only 4 games into the season, and we haven't played a single NAC opponent yet. It'll be Wells against Martinez in the middle of the field here. This one's popped up, won by the Eagles as they come away with it, but knocked away. White against Viets. This is just drained and clocked right now for the Vikings, as this one will be sent over. They need a goal within the next 5 seconds or so. They'll take a shot over towards Suchko. Players go down in the middle of the field. No foul, as some heavy contact over there. It'll be Heth who goes down hard on that backside against Suchko. Suchko gets yellow carded, and that will spell the end for this Vikings team. 5 seconds left on the clock. Eagles up 2, as they will take home their second victory of the season, Ethan, in a great game here today. As it was a very back-and-forth contest, as Godfrey will simply let this clock run all the way down. And the players mob her out there. Great plays on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. What an exciting game, Ethan.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're seeing a much, much better Eagles team than we saw last year. Again, they've already eclipsed the win total, now improving to 2-2 on the season. Last year, not a great season, finished the season 1-9. So, again, already passing that win total from last year. So, looking ahead for the Eagles, I mean, they've got a great team that they've been able to put together. Again, working on those fundamentals and really increasing that depth. Again, a lot of the issues that we saw last year was they only had 10 players on the field. So, again, evening the playing field has really helped these Eagles. And, again, a lot of that has been Avery Baker just picking up a lot on offense to be able to put the Eagles in games that they can really use their advantage on defense to control.
Baker has been a huge addition for this Eagles team, who will take on Thomas College at Thomas next Wednesday, March 22nd. Not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that. And that will be the first conference matchup of the season for them. And then they will take on Maine Maritime, Husson's rivals, the following Saturday here right on Boucher Field. It'll be me and Ryan Barnes on the call for that one. And for Salem State, they'll go home for the first, or they'll go on the road for one more game at Emmanuel College and then take on the California team in Occidental College, which is an interesting one to come up to the New England area during this kind of cold back and forth weather area for the New England time of year right now. But
I guess those warmer weather teams are like, see a lot of these teams from the Northeast take Florida trips during spring break. Why don't we take a trip up to the Northeast? Don't know the reasoning behind that one, but still interesting.
Well, thank you for listening in with us as well on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I've been Avery Henningsen alongside Ethan Moss. Have a good rest of your afternoons. We'll see you here in a couple weeks.